So let's work with some fractions. First, if you're adding, if you have the same denominators, all you have to do is add the numerators, the top number, and your denominator stays the same. The denominator tells you how big the piece is. The numerator tells you how many of those pieces you have. So 2 elevenths plus 3 elevenths means you have 5 elevenths. 1/5 plus 3/5 means you have 4/5. And 1/4 plus 1/4 means you have 2/4, which you'd want to reduce down to 1/2. Now, if you have different denominators, this is where you have a problem because the pieces are not the same size, so you can't combine them. What you have to do first is manipulate the fractions so that you have the same denominator. So look at your two denominators and think of a number that both of these will go into. Well, for 3 and 2, they're both going to go into 6. Now ask yourself, what did I multiply the old denominator by to get the new one? Well, you multiplied it by 2, so you have to multiply the top by 2. So now you have 2/6. Right here, you multiplied 2 times 3 to get your new denominator. So you have to multiply this one by 3. So now you have 3. 2 plus 3 is 5/6. All right, now on this one, you look at 5 and 3. What's a number that both of these will go into? Well, they'll both go into 15. So what'd you multiply the old one by to get the new number? You multiplied it by 3. So you have to multiply the top by 3. So that gives you 6. Now what'd you multiply this one by to get the new denominator? You multiplied it by 5. So you multiply this top by 5 and you get 10. So 6 plus 10 is 16/15. And if you want to change it to a mixed number, you say how many times will 15 go into 16? One time, with one left over 15. All right, now between 4 and 6, you say what's a number that both of these will go into? Now you could just multiply and go on up to 24, but really what you're supposed to do is find the smallest number they both go into. And both of these will actually go into 12. So you say, what'd you multiply 4 by to get 12? Well, you multiplied it by 3. So you multiply the top by 3. Now what'd you multiply 6 by to get 12? Well, you multiplied it by 2. So you multiply this top by 2. And now what you have is 3 plus 2 is 5/12. Okay. When you get ready to multiply, you don't have to match anything now. All you do is multiply the top numbers together and the bottom numbers together and reduce if necessary. So 1 times 1 is 1, and 2 times 3 is 6. All right, now here we're going to multiply straight across the top. 2 times 1 is 2. 5 times 7 is 35. And that's all. They won't reduce. All right, now over here, if I multiply 2 times 1, I get 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Now these will reduce. 2 will go into both of these. If I divide both of these numbers, I get 1/5. Now I want you to notice what happened. Your answer, your reduced answer is 1/5. But look, this is actually what you started off with if you had canceled the matching numbers at this time. You could have saved yourself having to reduce. Now, when you divide, all division is keep, change, flip. So that means you're going to keep the first one the same. You're going to change division to multiplication, and then you're going to flip this second thing. Multiply. Now you're multiplying just like you did up here. So there's straight across the top, which is 2, and straight across the bottom, which is 3. All right, and here we go again. We're going to keep, we're going to change, and then we're going to flip. Now, we already saw what happened when you can cancel a denominator with a numerator. So we can do that, or we can multiply straight across the top. 2 times 10 is 20. 5 times 1 is 5. Now, what will 20/5 reduce down to? 4. And then the last one, 1/7 We're going to change this to multiplication, and then we're going to flip 10 over 2. Now multiply across the top and get 10, across the bottom and get 14. All right, what number will go into both of these? Well, 2 will. So when you divide 10 by 2, you get 5. When you divide 14 by 2, you get 7. So your reduced number is 5/7.